I'm here today we've been going over a lot of basic defensive pistol, and I've decided to break my defensive pistol classes down into basically two ranges and work on the ability to bridge those ranges. So two of the basics of defensive pistol and almost any sort of carry and present is draw. Now, the range at which you are dealing with generally is going to change the way you draw due to retention factors, due to force-on-force factors, and so forth. So what we've been doing is we've been working on basically what I call the 3 and the 15. 15 is 15 feet. 3 feet is 3 feet, where you're at touch range. Okay? And the difference in the way you draw has a lot to do with what you're dealing with. Now, if you have a thread at 15 feet, that gives you a little bit of time to actually work on your draw, minimize your mechanics, and get your firearm online as fast as possible. Okay? However, if you're at 3 feet, you've got to deal with static up close and personal. So that changes the way that you draw, and it also changes your availability of extra limbs to actually deal with your threat. So your techniques change. I'm not going to talk about movement. I'm just going to talk about just the basic draws and how we go through those. So first off, I'm going to work on what we call the 15 foot, okay, the 15 feet draw. So we simply start with a good posture. Our posture is going to be something where I can receive oncoming force if need be, and I can be stable. We don't do square range stance. I don't want both of these square, because this is where I tip over my heels if I receive some oncoming force. I need to be dropped back into basically what's a fighting stance. Okay, if you've ever done boxing, kickboxing, anything like that, you're up here, you've got one leg cocked up, maybe you've got two up. You're working from a stable position, okay? Right, stable position is where we want to start from. So, I break this down into a couple of steps. My first step, since we're carrying concealed, we're not dealing with an outside the waistband that's uncovered on a duty belt. We're dealing with concealed cover. We have to deal with the concealed. New phrase. We got to deal with the concealed. So what I'm doing is I'm making mechanics function so that we can minimize the steps that we have to use to introduce our weapon into the skirmish. So while I'm here in my defensive posture, my defensive position, the hey man, I don't want to fight, you don't want to do this kind of thing, something more threatening, whatever, my hands are up. All right? My first mechanic is up-down. My hand goes high, my elbow goes tight, and my hand goes low to my shirt. So I've got low-high, low-high, right to here, so I can get a purchase on my concealment. Low-high. Now I'm going to do up-down. When I do up, down, I'm getting my thumb in first. This may be a matter of preference, but this gives me my initial purchase on my weapon. So I'm here. High-low, up-down. High-low, up-down. Once I'm in here, I go back up minimally. I don't want my elbow flared out. I want it tight. I want this clearing my rig, but it doesn't need to be way up here. Always remember, an inch is as good as a mile. Stance. High-low. Up-down. Clear. Once I'm clear, I'm going to immediately drop my elbow at 90 degrees and find my index point. Right to here. If I have gear, ladies, if You have assets. You need to cant this out. So if I do start firing, I do not short stroke my slide and cause a malfunction. Once again, posture, high-low, up-down, draw, drop. Okay? This gets us into a position where we can begin to fire. From this point on, we do what I call climbing the stairs. Bang, 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 until I'm out at full presentation. I'm not going to talk about that much. I just want to get to the presentation point. So we go back through those. Posture, high-low, up-down, draw, drop. Now, my presentation is a push-out. I'm connecting my hands as I come out, getting a good combat grip, and once I'm here, I'm locked at full extension. My elbows roll to the sky, my shoulders shrug, and I create a lock. All right? Once I'm here, my stability comes from my isometrics. My hand is pushing as my auxiliary hand is pulling. Boom. That isometric tension is what keeps me stable. Along with my elbows rolling up, it creates a lock on my joints so that my muscles are not doing the movement. They're not doing the stability. Okay? I'll do this one more time. Posture. High-low, up-down, draw, drop, present. Okay? All right, so this is what I call the 15 feet. Because I have the ability to use this hand to grab my shirt,